Every year, corruption robs developing countries of an estimated 1.2 trillion US dollars, while destabilizing societies, undermining the rule of law, and diminishing the integrity of democratic institutions. It undermines the sectors of health, education, economic growth, and building resilience to climate change. A recent study commissioned by the Uganda Inspectorate for Government on the cost of corruption showed that Uganda loses 9.1 trillion shillings, that's 2.5 billion US dollars, to corruption. This is equivalent to 44% of the total government of Uganda revenue in 2019. So where is this corruption occurring? According to the cost of corruption study, approximately 2.3 trillion shillings, or 250 million US dollars, is lost annually due to absenteeism in the health and education sectors. This absenteeism denies the public access to services while employees get paid for work that they're not doing. Additionally, about 614 billion shillings, or 173 million US dollars, was lost in the procurement processes. Corruption worsens poverty. It aggravates inequality, and as resources that are meant for the poor and underprivileged, they're diverted to the pockets of those that are corrupt. Research conducted by the University of Denver shows that in the long run, improved accountable leadership will benefit Uganda's gross domestic product more than the expected proceeds from oil in the coming years. And there's a lot of expectations around the proceeds that we will be getting from oil in Uganda. So according to their forecast model, from oil production by 2035, that 2.4 billion US dollars in annual revenue could be generated from improved governance. So that's for improved governance. And that this would surpass the 2.2 billion US government dollars generated from oil production. So improved governance would lead to a cumulative increase of 33.5 billion US dollars by 2040, compared to just $26.8 billion from oil. So you see the difference between the 33.5 compared to the 26.8 from oil. So think about that and what the opportunities are. This analysis really shows that improved governance, including reduced corruption, enhanced transparency, and improved effectiveness, could bring stronger growth to the economy than oil ever would. Despite the significant anti-corruption efforts, it's evident that there's still much more work to be done. A recent report of the Auditor General found challenges in accountability of resources for secondary schools and health center construction projects. This report found that overpayments and irregular expenditures amounted to 924 billion shillings. This is 260 million US dollars that could have been used to fund education and health services for millions of Ugandan citizens. We can all do better to help the Ugandan people get the services that they deserve. Every Ugandan to have access to public services without paying a bribe, so that they can build their businesses, strengthen their communities, instead of enriching someone for just doing their job.
What is the problem? What is the problem is my question. Because IGG is not new. It didn't start yesterday. It hasn't started today. We are not launching IGG. The State House Anti-Corruption Unit in this country. There is a whole Ministry of Ethics in the President's office. There is a Ministry of Economic Monitoring in the Office of the President. There is the Auditor General's office at the headquarters, and the Auditor General's office in every district. There are district auditors in every district. There are departmental auditors. What is the problem? What can't be seen? What can't be checked? There are public accounts committees in every district. There is the Whistleblowers Act, allowing any one of you to tell the country, to tell the authority around you of any irregularities, any signs of corruption. You are even free to suspect and report, with or without mentioning your name. What is the problem? For civil service, there are conditions of service and code of conduct, which should manage you, shape you into what you're expected to do. But what is the problem? There is no institution without a head. Schools have head teachers, hospitals have directors, small health centers have their managers. Who doesn't have the eye to see that there's something going wrong? And to me, it's on the increase. When you hear of the money, just mentioned in billions, in millions of dollars, we need to tackle this problem squarely. One, by committing ourselves, evidenced by the actions you've taken before to manage the corrupt. Or you are waiting for the IGG in Kampala. You should be the IGG of Arua. Because we have all the gadgets to make us know who is practicing fraud, who is stealing the money, and the commensurate laws are there. So why are we lamenting? Why can't we act? In some churches, they have condemned coins. What does that imply? That people must offer big. In some churches, they have condemned the 1,000 shilling notes. I think that one is not correct. So let us squarely try to fight corruption, even in churches. Why should you be excited about someone bringing 3 million, yet he has no job? As a ministry, we are pushing for contract agreements, and in the last cabinet of this week, we talked about it. Quality service delivery will not come when people feel they have ended, they have reached the apex. So contract agreements will help, and if we strictly analyze, assess, and take action. If you are not fit for renewing your contract, we tell you your offenses, and we get rid of you. So, as local government, we are giving our commitment that we shall increase supervision by monitoring and evaluating delivery of government programs and projects in the country. But this must be supplemented by transparency. But some of the leaders, you also rub shoulders with the civil servants. You rub shoulders, some of you demand money. I'm about to come here to handle a case which I'm delegated to do in this region. You rub shoulders, and next time they say, no, the money is not enough, we can't give you, you develop war. Why? We are not lacking the laws. We are not lacking the regulations. We are not lacking compelling code of conduct issues and conditions of service in the civil service, but we are just corrupt, and we are lax, thinking there is someone who will do it for me. If that stops, I think, yes, we can overcome corruption. Thank you very much.